I'm not really good at celebrating, but I recently had to do a little bit of traveling and a 4 hour journey to the airport became 8 because of weather and circumstances. And in a moment that when I normally would be pretty reactive, I was cool, calm, and collected.
Hey everyone, welcome to Live Fully, Lead Authentically, a Brimstone Coaching podcast. My name is Kurt Busch, co-founder here at Brimstone Coaching Group. You just heard my friend and co-founder Chris Godfredson. Chris, welcome to the pod. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Did you know that this is our 50th episode? That's
This is
amazing.
number 50. Can you believe
Number
we made it to
50.
50?
No, I can't. I mean, I thought we had been canceled by now.
Yeah.
But who's going to
That's not,
do that
I was gonna say
actually?
that's not how the internet works.
It's not how it works, is it? No, we're
No,
still
but like
here,
we got 50 episodes worth of stuff to talk about.
right? We do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do.
And like, and I'm not going to count how many things we have to celebrate today, but I think that is what we intend to do is just to celebrate some growth and some transformation, maybe in our clients' lives, but also in our own life. And
Yeah.
that's the place where I let in with that little story is like I really had a moment in the airport where I was celebrating
Yeah.
my lack of reactivity.
All right, Chris, I want to ask you more about that story
Yeah,
because I was kind of like, I was texting you real time and I want to know more about that.
yeah,
But before I do that, I want to pitch our mailbag real quick.
yeah,
We are going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate these wins. We're going to celebrate 50 episodes. And we want to invite our listeners to share any celebrations they might have too. Uh,
yeah,
we would love to hear stories of growth, of transformation, of progress. If you're listening to this and you want to share a story that that you've seen growth in your own life in the work that you're doing, send us an email. Send us an email. Let us know at livefullyleadauthentically at gmail.com. Again, that's livefullyleadauthentically at gmail.com. Or you can leave a comment on Spotify or Apple or YouTube, wherever you're watching this,
hmm,
and we'll share it on a podcast. We would love to celebrate those with you
yeah,
as we celebrate 50 episodes. So, Chris,
yes, sir.
set the scene a little bit more.
Hmm.
Why on earth were you getting on an airplane in the middle of a blizzard? And
Well,
where were you going? What, like, why?
yeah,
Why?
yeah. Well, good question. Because team and I make an annual excursion to a conference in Orlando, and it just so happened that we had a 12:50 flight out of Minneapolis. So I got up and left my house at 3:50. No,
Whoa.
maybe earlier than that. And no, I got up at 3:50. I left the house at 4:30 to
AM.
yeah, AM, buddy. Yeah. So we left an hour earlier than we intended to leave so that we would get there, but we live in Northwest Iowa and the only direct flight, well, the preferred direct flight is out of Minneapolis. So we drove up to Worthington, Minnesota, where we sat for 2 hours in our car.
On the side of the road.
Yeah. Well, outside a convenience store. Like we
Yeah.
could have gone
Yeah.
to a restaurant and had breakfast, but we didn't do that because we kept waiting for the interstate to open.
Yeah.
And so we just sat there and we sat there and we sat there. And people over time continued to grow. The volume of people who were also doing what we were doing began to grow. And at the 2 hour mark, we kind of had the conversation. Well, what are we going to do? Are we going to turn around and go home, or keep waiting, or what? So we did what every smart human being would do, and we took county roads. The interstate's
Wow.
closed, but the county ones aren't. Let's take those. And so we went about 70 miles on county roads to until the time that we couldn't, and we had to go north. And so as we went north, I mean, we couldn't keep going to the east on the county road because there was a semi jackknifed on the road. So anyway, we turned north. It's like, well, what are we going to do? And just as we got to the interstate, the gate lifted and we could take the interstate. So we made it there. I mean, it took us 6 hours of driving time to make what would probably be a 3 hour and 50-minute drive.
Mm-hmm.
A little hairy, to say the least. And but we made it. While we were sitting there outside that convenience store, I had bought a cup of coffee, and like it was zero outside.
It was free. I mean,
The car
blizzard.
ran the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the snow was over, like it, but the wind was howling,
Yeah.
and I spilled that cup of coffee on my pants, and in my shoes, and on
Oh,
the person's floor mat. It wasn't even my car, uh, and at no point did I lose my mind. And so I had this moment where, we got to the airport, and I can lag behind sometimes. I just physically, like, I'm, I'm aging and it's not great. And I deal with some physical pain, but I was doing pretty well. I kept up. I even probably led the charge most of that time to get to our gate.
yeah.
And like we were, I don't know, we were still on the blacktops when we got the text that said, "Oh, your flight has been delayed." And for the first time ever, we celebrated because we wouldn't have made our gate, I don't think,
Yeah.
from the time we actually got to the airport and to the gate, we would have missed our flight. But I just had this moment where like I was really grateful for all of the time and energy that I have invested in
Mm.
being able to be calm in a situation that was like wanting me to not be calm,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? Because
100%.
I texted you and said, "Hey, made it to the airport." And I think your response was, "How are you doing?"
I think that's exactly the response.
Yeah. And I think I said remarkably well.
Uh-huh.
Like
Yep.
I am calm. So then I wrote a little bit about this and I posted it on Facebook. And like there was a time, I don't know, it was a year, probably in our second seminary year. And I was leading a group of people to LA, but I was meeting them there from Grand Rapids. So I flew
Mm.
from Grand Rapids to Los Angeles with an old friend of ours.
Hmm.
He really is old, and he's a longtime friend of mine. If he's listening, shout out Steve. Good to talk. Good to see you today. Um, but Steve remembers a time at LAX and the rental car place where I was not my best self.
Yeah.
It was rough. And
Mm.
so he's like, huh. He made a comment on that because he read the post on Facebook. And I was like, yeah, like the growth is, the
Yeah.
work is so worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this to you, and I said this to you in my text.
Mm,
I implied this.
yeah.
I've known you for a long time. I'm not afraid to say to you, looking at you on this Zoom screen, and say I was surprised, uh,
Mm,
and
yeah.
not like shocked, but like
Yeah.
I've been around you when things get rough, and that scenario of like I spilled coffee, I'm stuck in a car in a blizzard, I'm gonna miss my flight. Now I'm at the airport. Like airports are bad anyway. Like Chris,
Yes.
I'm looking at this and thinking about this as the perfect storm. And
Yeah.
this isn't even a commentary on like you or what you would do. Like all the things
Yeah.
converged.
All the things just piled
Yeah.
up. Like we
Yeah.
left earlier than we needed to sit to sit in a car.
Uh-huh.
Like, no, we could have waited and left an hour later, and we only would have waited an hour instead of
Yeah.
two. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really was a perfect storm. And
Yeah.
all of us handle, I mean, none of us are uh, what's the word I'm looking for here? None of us are, um, we all deal with anxiety. We
Yeah.
we will all face anxious moments. We all
Yeah.
do face anxious moments throughout the day, let alone in a circumstance like that.
Yeah.
And to just to not even, I didn't even feel the urge. It's like the autopilot had been flipped off,
Yeah.
switched off.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think it even ever came to the surface because I laughed when I spilled the like, I just like my thumbs or it just like fell out of my hand and like, God. I mean, I was probably self-deprecating for a moment because, you know,
Sure. Sure. Uh, can I ask a question?
yeah,
I mean, I think you already answered it, which is more phenomenal. But we talk a lot with people about this idea that like anxiety when it stirs up, we don't really get to control when it stirs up, and it may never actually ever go away. And you know, some of
hmm,
those desires to do what we've always done, they might just always be there on some level. And
yes,
the work is like employing the tools and the practices to go a different direction. Like
100%.
I, I think you already answered, but like, what were you feel like? Did you feel like did you have to combat some things?
Uh, no, I think I just made the, I mean, I noticed in the moment there were three others in the car and like there was a little bit of like, let's go already. Come on.
Yeah,
Like, let's go.
yeah,
Uh, and I was not one of those four for most of the time. Like, um, I was probably the least anxious of the four of us. And that's no, not that they were anxious,
yeah,
but it, there, there was very little that was happening. But it was while I was sitting in the airport. Like we got to the gate, we sat down. I, yeah, it was just like, I looked at the Starbucks line. I'm like, nope, not doing that. And I kept walking and got to her gate and just, oh, this is really something.
yeah,
I saw people everywhere and it's good. Now,
yeah,
there
yeah,
were moments later in the week where, like, where I was a little, where I noticed my autopilot kick in and then I got to manage myself in real time. But in that day, it's pretty great.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like, I can't say enough. Like 3:50 a.m. blizzard. I mean, even for listeners who might not even know, like we're in the part of the world where there are literal arms that come down like a railroad crossing that block the interstate.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we watched a guy, we watched a vehicle head north, probably 25 miles before we did, and then there was all of a sudden there went Johnny Law right behind him, picked him up half a mile past the interstate exit because like that road, that highway was closed, and
mm,
so he got a ticket. They pulled him over, said no. But the
yeah,
county road that we turned onto, nobody cared. It's wild. But yeah, it yeah, it was quite something. Like, and I have other moments like that where
yeah, yeah,
there's success, and I feel it in real time. Is oh, I'm not doing what I always do. That isn't to say that I always don't do what I normally have done.
yeah.
So yeah, I was with a client earlier today and she's experiencing some success and was naming it. And she says, "Yeah, but I don't want you to think." I said, "Oh, you don't even have to. There, there's no need to do that
Yeah,
because the expectation is not perfection. We're not going to do it right all the time. But boy, is it worth celebrating when we do. Do you have
yeah.
anything you would celebrate?
Yeah, I was going to ask you more questions though.
Oh,
Is that you
well,
intentionally moving us on?
it was, but you can ask me another question or two if you like.
I
Two at the most.
I got one more. I got one
Okay,
more. And then we'll take a little break.
sounds good.
So you're sitting in the airport, you're looking around, it's hitting you. I didn't do the
Hmm.
things. What was the emotion? Or what was that
Yeah.
experience
No.
like?
Yeah. Yeah. No. I love the question. Uh, Gratitude.
Mm,
Yeah. Peace.
yeah.
And yeah. It. Yeah. it's a surprise. It was it was, I think I was surprised even. Like
Yeah.
there's some level of uh, phenomena that is like, oh, this is different,
Yeah.
and it feels really good. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I think deeply gratitude for the work, for the way that you and others have contributed to it. Like I did a little, like, and that was partially why I even texted you. I was like, hey, I made it, because I knew then you'd say, well, how are you doing? Uh, and pretty good actually. And to yeah, to just to have moments of success, or yeah, it was so good. Yeah,
Yeah.
grateful.
Love love that.
Yeah,
Love that. Let's take a short break.
Have you ever walked out of a meeting or left a conversation thinking, why did I just show up like that? Why did I shrink back or explode or stay silent when it mattered? You're not alone, and you're not broken. You're likely reacting from a pattern that started long before that meeting ever happened. In their new book, Live Fully, Lead Authentically, Kurt Busch and Chris Godperson unpack the hidden second job so many of us carry, spending our days managing the anxiety, fear, and old stories that shape how we lead. Through honest stories and practical tools, they invite leaders to pause, reflect, and lead in a new way. Get your copy today at brimstonecoachinggroup.com/new book. Order now. This is your invitation to lead differently.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Here with Chris. Chris, thanks for sharing the story.
yeah,
I can't convey enough how much fun that was, like real time to text you and to see it. Like
yeah,
even if part of me like looked at my phone, kind of like tilt head, like
yeah.
friend,
Whatever. You
friend.
lying
What?
to me
Yeah.
right now? What are,
I thought we were closer than this.
yeah, false.
No, get angry, get
No
anxious.
Dwight Schrute GIF, nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
False. Yeah, no, it was so good. Yeah. Anyway, like, and I love that we can celebrate together. So I'm
Yeah.
curious what you might be celebrating.
Yeah, yeah. So same blizzard.
Yeah.
The day before, I was scheduled to play drums at a church,
Mm-hmm.
about 30 minutes away. A church that is part of your system.
Yeah.
That will be important for the story coming up here. Um, I don't get to play a lot of drums.
Mm.
I love playing drums. It's really fun.
And you're good at it.
I'm
Yeah.
serviceable. Yeah,
You're good
yeah.
at it.
Thanks. I'll just say
Hmm.
thanks.
Yeah.
So I don't get to play a lot of drums. So when the drum opportunity comes around, I'm like really pumped for it.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of getting ready to play drums. I've been listening to music, doing as much prep as you can do without having a drum set in your house. And I wake up on Sunday morning. We saw this blizzard coming, right?
Yeah.
And to be fair, part of the story is like I was texting you of like, hey, what do y'all do for canceling church?
Uh-huh.
Because I kind of wanted y'all to make a decision for me instead of
Right.
me having to make a decision. Uh,
Which is fair.
which
I
is
understand that. Hmm.
well, that's not how I want to be, but
Well,
that was the
yeah,
anxious hope, right?
sure.
So I wake up Sunday morning. I'm getting ready to go drums. I get ready, and I can see like it is blowing, and it's gross, and there's some ice around. There's some snow. Like, is it snowing? Is it blowing? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like 30 to 45 mile an hour winds.
Right.
Pretty typical Northwest Iowa blizzard kind of stuff.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I'm looking out the window. I've got drumsticks and coffee in hand, and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I don't know what to do here. So I'm going through this thought process, Chris, of like number one, I want to play drums. So I want to go. Again, 30 minutes away in a car in a
Yeah.
blizzard. Um, my mind is initially saying I'm going to go because I want to play. Well, the second thought that comes into my mind is, well, I said I was going to do this. I got to do it. I know what it's like to have volunteers not show up.
Hmm.
Um, I also know, if I'm most honest with you, because this is just a conversation with you and me, right? if I'm most honest, I know the things that I've said and thought about volunteers that don't show up on Sunday mornings.
Yeah.
That's my most honest reflection.
Yeah.
So that enters my mind of like, it might not be wise for me to drive that far uh, to go play drums today,
Right.
but what are people going to think of me? What
Yeah.
what are people that I like really care about going to think of me?
Hmm.
Uh, I know probably two people in that whole church where I was going to be. I knew two people, and I like them. I care about them, and I want
Hmm.
them to like me and care about me, and
Yeah.
not think poorly of me. So I got in my car, and the try was probably so I didn't disappoint people. Right?
Mm.
That is ingrained deeply
Yeah.
into some of my protective promises. Like, do
Hmm.
not disappoint people. Do not give people a reason to think negatively of me. Uh,
Yeah.
so I get in my car and I go, I don't know, probably on a normal day, it would have been about 4 minutes down the road. Uh,
Oh.
but on Blizzard day, it was 10 minutes down the road because
Mm.
it's half speed, you know?
Sure. Yep.
And it's blowing and it's gross and the visibility's crappy. And it's not wise to keep going.
Hmm.
So I pull over to the side of the road. I send a text message to the person that would be leading the band that day, and I said, "Hey, man,
Yep.
I'm turning around. I'm headed back home. It's not safe." Um, I don't. Yeah, even as I say that, there's a temptation in me to want to like justify that, but it was the best decision for me was to turn around and go home.
Yeah.
Uh, I 2 years ago, I'd have never made that. Like I barely made that decision that Sunday. But 2 years ago, I'd never like I'd have trucked through that blizzard. The thing with blizzards in Northwest Iowa is like it might be okay. It might be manageable now, but what's it going to be in an hour?
Right. Exactly
Uh,
right.
these open fields where everything blows, what's it going to look like? And
Hmm.
uh, I probably would have said 2 years ago, well, consequences be damned. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
The church needs me. Like
Mm.
the
Yeah.
church needs a drummer. And drummers, yeah. I mean, there is a case to be made if it's bright and sunny, the church needs a drummer.
Yeah.
Uh,
Exactly right. That's right.
Drummers are
And
pretty hard to come by.
what the church wanted and needed for everybody was to use your brains
Yes.
and to be comfortable, right? And so, yeah, on a 1 to 5 scale, like how much courage did that take for you to send him that text?
Yeah, it was a 5.
7. Yeah.
Yeah, it was max. It was
Yeah.
max.
Yep.
I'm not sure that I've ever done that before.
Mm. Yeah.
I'm sure there have been times where obviously there's times I've named what I need and want,
Yep.
but in this scenario, like when this is like as a volunteer, like that's the key part of this story is like I'm a volunteer and people are counting on me. Like that's the narrative that runs through the head, right?
Yeah. 100%. Yep.
So that's the kind of key part of that story and why it's such a big win is because I allowed myself to name what I needed and what was wise for me at with the reality that somebody was going to feel let down,
Sure. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So what's true for me on that day was I left home significantly earlier than you did.
Hmm.
Uh, then you headed out, and I got to where I needed to be without a lot of trouble. But I also drive a half-ton pickup, and you don't.
I don't, yeah.
So I have four-wheel drive, and my drive home was significantly worse than my
Mm,
drive in was.
yeah,
And so like those days are always for us a significant challenge. The technology that we have says like we can if we can get to where we can get we at the very least we can broadcast a service,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So that's a it's a high value to at least do that. And most of the time, volunteers aren't traveling. That campus, like the band, is always driving in. The people
yeah,
who play are always driving in. Here's a question I want to ask.
yeah.
So it is one thing to send him that text. I sent you a text to say, "Hey, did you make it?" About the time that I figured you should be there. And you replied, no, I turned around and went home. Uh, and what was it like to get to say that to me?
Yeah. I think it was significantly easier
Oh,
because we
good.
do this work together.
Yeah, good.
Um, yeah, I mean, I would say it's easier and it's different because yeah, I think our closeness makes it just different,
Sure.
you know, on a lot of different levels.
Hmm.
Um, and I trust how you process what you think of me. I trust our relationship.
Yeah.
I yeah, I trust that you trust me.
Yeah,
All
good.
all
Yeah.
those things are true.
Well, and that's how I want it to be, right? And I think my response was good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because yeah, yeah, I never like I used to. So Sunday, Monday, Blizzard was always the deal. In my publishing days, I either was driving in a blizzard or I had people on the road on Monday nights retrieving a newspaper from 2 hours away from the printing facility. It was almost always, and I never like that. Like
Yeah.
I never want people
Yeah.
uncomfortable and on the road. And so, but that thing, right? That thing that's alive in us that says, "Oh, I can't disappoint people," or I can't have them thinking this of me,
Yeah.
keeps us from like accessing our best thinking. So, like I celebrate the fact that you were able to, you gave it a shot against your best judgment. So maybe even trying was, eh, but
Yeah,
you
that's a
tried,
yeah.
and then you're like, yeah, no, I'm not comfortable, and
Yeah.
you made a wise decision that I can celebrate. And like music was still played and sung too over there, and turns out you can do stuff without a drummer.
You can't no, let's not go that far, Chris.
Okay,
Drummers are of the utmost importance and
they are.
can never be replaced.
Never want to if we have our druthers, but yeah, but it
Yeah, and
happened.
I mean, I think again, not to beat a dead horse, but the thing that felt so important to me was like if I'm getting in my car driving to Walmart and like, oh man, the roads are bad. Of course, like there's no threat or risk of like having to turn around. Like that's easy. You
Yeah,
know, but like, hey, I'm gonna turn around and I again, a decade of work in the church, I know I know what's
yeah,
going on Sunday morning and the prep work and like, I just don't want to be, quote, that guy.
yeah,
And so to be able to let my best thinking override the fear of being, you know, seen or thought of negatively or whatever, just it felt like a real and it was the right decision. I mean, immediately when I got back home, like it felt right. It was the right decision. It started snowing again. Like it
yep.
did not get better, as you
It
said.
did not.
No.
No,
So,
not till about 3 in the afternoon. And
yep.
the wind still howled the entire night, and it impacted my trip on Monday. So like it,
Yep.
yeah, it was a whole deal. And
Yep.
yeah, but to be able to say what we need or to ask for what we need or to make decisions from here
Hmm.
rather than from fear. I'm a poet. I didn't even know it.
Hey.
My feet show it. They're Longfellows. Hey, um, the
Title.
um, yeah, um, it is so significant.
Yeah. Yep.
And yeah, yeah. What else would you say? You have another thought about that where like yeah,
I don't think so. I think I've said what I want to say. I think just if celebrating feels important, right? We
yeah,
say this all the time to clients, and I think what you and I want to say in this episode is like it is like we know it's important for us too.
yeah,
So I think it did feel good to be able to like reflect back and say, you know, hey, I'm celebrating this. This is a way that I wanted to show up, and it felt good.
yeah,
So celebrating, I think, is important. I think there's something about like cementing in us, like, oh, this
yep,
is the way I want to be, and
Yeah.
per our last episode, this is how I want to do things, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, I think the celebration feels important. I do kind of wish, Chris, it wouldn't have taken a blizzard.
Oh,
Uh,
well, I understand.
for both of us. Like
Yeah.
this episode is coming directly out of the same blizzard, and I'm not happy about it.
Well, but I mean, there are other moments where,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I walked into a room 2 nights ago and was immediately stirred and quickly, like I could feel it. I named it like in the moment. I noticed what was stirring in me, and then I was able to engage.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's a win
Yeah.
rather than like there was a moment like years and years and years ago where a meeting was called. I was invited into the meeting, and then public enemy number one showed up in that meeting, and I got up and left.
Mm,
I drove around for 10 minutes and then I came back to the meeting, and the person who called the meeting just kind of smiled. It was like he knew full well that, oh, this was like I
mm,
would be triggered, and I was,
yeah.
and I left. But then I like sucked it up and I showed up, which like I can celebrate the fact that I went back, but I acted like a 6-year old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, on 2 nights ago, I walked in. I'm like, oh, you're here, and then I got my breath, let it go, and behaved in a way that I wanted to. So,
Yeah.
like the notice when things are different, when you are different, it's worth celebrating. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. There's dozens of these opportunities a week, right?
yeah, for
If
sure.
if we're doing this work, like there's
Hmm.
so many opportunities because there's a lot of opportunities to practice.
Right, because
The
anxiety is everywhere. It just
anxiety's
is,
everywhere.
and
Yep.
those
Yep.
moments pop up, and we're going to be stirred. And hmm, yeah, we
Yeah.
there is another way to be rather
Yeah.
than living on autopilot. You too can live fully and lead authentically.
That's a mic drop moment.
Yeah, so if people would like assistance with that, if you friends are resigned and cynical that you can ever behave differently or respond from your best thinking, like if all you feel like you've ever done has just been reactive, that there is a pathway forward, and how might they get themselves on that path, Kurt?
Yep, good question. I mean, this is the work we do with people.
Hmm.
This is the work we help people do every day. Yeah, on our website, brimstonecoachinggroup.com, there'll be a link below as well. There's a button that says schedule a call, or there's one that says schedule my free consultation.
Yep.
Um, Click any one of those and we'll get that. And that will trigger a process to get people connected with a free inquiry call to see if our coaching philosophy and the way we think about life and coaching and leadership, if it lines up with where you, the listener, feel stuck.
Yeah.
We want to create a space where we can do that free of charge with no obligation to see if we might be a good fit for each other. So any one of those buttons on our website that says schedule a call would be the way to get that going.
Yep. Great. So I'm really grateful for the celebratory nature of 50 episodes of Live
Hey,
Fully, Lead Authentically, a Brimstone coaching podcast, and more than that, I'm just grateful that we get to do this work together, and that increasingly, like more and more people are engaging in the work, and that I think is going to begin to shift culture and create all kinds of opportunities for people that we know and people we haven't met before to be able to celebrate growth and their transformation in their own lives. So thanks for the conversation today.
yeah, thanks, Chris. See you next time.